When you talk about apology, I think the one that you should really be apologizing for, and the thing that you should be apologizing for, are the 33,000 emails that you deleted and that you acid washed. And then the 2 boxes of emails and other things last week that were taken from an office and are now missing. And I'll tell you what, I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm going to say it. And I hate to say it. But if I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation, because there has never been so many lies, so much deception. There has never been anything like it. You get a subpoena, and after getting the subpoena, you delete 33,000 emails, and then you acid wash them, or bleach them, as you would say, a very expensive process. People have been, their lives have been destroyed for doing 1/5 of what you've done, and it's a disgrace. And honestly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Secretary Clinton, I want to follow up on that. I'm going to let you talk about emails.
Because everything he just said is absolutely false, but I'm not surprised. Really? In the first debate,
the audience needs to calm down here.
I told people that it would be impossible to be fact-checking Donald all the time. I'd never get to talk about anything I want to do and how we're going to really make lives better for people. It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Trump hammering Clinton on her email scandal, saying lives have been destroyed for similar offenses. We've got basically James Comey saying, the FBI director, Hillary was extremely careless in her handling of classified information. We've got Kathleen Saucier. Her son, Christian, was convicted of mishandling classified information. Family now spending their last moments before their son, Christian, goes to jail for about, I think, a 1-year prison sentence on Wednesday. Kathleen joins me now by phone. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us during this difficult period. Kathleen, can you just walk the viewer through what happened with your son? He was taking selfies, I think, on a nuclear submarine, and in those selfie photos, there was the background of this nuclear submarine was captured. Is that right?
So basically what I'd like to do first, Liz, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to be on. I'd like to clarify something that continues to be misinterpreted. At this point, my son, he pled guilty to the charges. He wasn't, you know, as you said, wasn't convicted. He pled guilty to those charges. So he's accepted responsibility. I'm not coming on to talk about, you know, my poor son, my poor family, what happened to us. He's accepted responsibilities for his actions of something that he did 9 years ago when he was 22 years old, taking 6 photos on a submarine that he was stationed on. What I'm coming on to talk about, and I'm so grateful I have the opportunity to do it, is I'm screaming about the clear double standard that's applied over to Hillary Clinton and her staff. As you mentioned last night, Donald Trump said people's lives have been destroyed for less than what Hillary's done, and he's correct. My son's life and our family is one of those. My son has accepted responsibility for that. You know, I think let's talk about the facts. Both my son and Hillary Clinton had classified information on an insecure device. She admitted it. She stated she made a mistake by doing that. Okay, there's no evidence that my son ever transmitted any data to anyone. They both received training about that classified information and how to handle it properly. Here's the biggest difference I think we need to establish is clearly an email is transmitted. In fact, over and over, emails have been found to be transmitted from her insecure device and server on the part of her and her staff. Whether they intended to do it or not, it's still a crime because the interesting thing about mishandling classified information is there's no intent required for it. And last night, again, the first debate she said it, she said, I made a mistake. Well, my son also made a mistake in handling classified information. And in my son's sentencing hearing, the judge specifically said, mishandling classified information is a dangerous mistake. And that's the part that concerns me. So we're going to try to get someone in as President of the United States that think it's just a mistake to mishandle classified information. And for her to state that she didn't know it was classified or what the classified meant, Hillary Clinton was an originator. What that means in classification, and I worked for the Department of Defense, if you're an originator, you're making a decision about whether an email is classified and the level that it's classified at. So her to state that is a lie. And I'm saying it this time for the first time. I was disgusted when I saw how she acted last night to state that Donald Trump was lying about her. She said twice she made a mistake. How is that a valid defense? I could use that any time. Oh, I made a mistake, and I'm going to get out of it. My son made a mistake. He's accepted responsibility, just like she said she did, and he's going to prison while she prepares for the next debate, and she prepares to take down Donald Trump so she can be president of the United States. My son's preparing, and his family's preparing to go to prison for something he's accepting responsibility for. So how are we safe in the United States? How can we trust her to protect us? She's supposed to be one of the ones to serve and protect and keep us safe. How can we trust her? There's a clear double standard as to how her and her staff are being treated compared to my son, our family, and many other American patriots in the United States.
Kathleen, what are you doing in the moments before your son has to go to, I guess, military prison? What is the family doing?
Actually, no, we're not. He's not going to military prison because they decided to take it outside of the military and put it into federal civilian court. He's going to federal prison. So I know I'm excited about this. I know I'm emotional about it. So thank you, Liz, for asking that. What we're doing today and tomorrow is kind of pretending that that's not what's happening, and we're just being a family. His daughter just turned 1 year old just a couple weeks ago, so we're laughing.
Wait a second. This is I'm sorry, forgive me. He is a 1-year-old child, and he's going to federal prison.
Yes.
Has anyone gotten back to you saying that this is unfair? Anyone in Congress, anyone in the military, anyone expressing how unfair this is?
Only what I see on the media where people are saying they're outraged by it, people that are sending me things. But no, I actually reached out to my local congressman when this was all going on.
And what happened?
They refused to support. They said there was...
So no one is saying anything about this. Is that what's going on? Forgive me.
Correct. People are just shutting me up, trying to keep me quiet, and that's why I'm talking. Because here's the thing. It was about my son at one time. Now it's about the United States of America and American patriots. This is happening. This double standard is happening over and over and over. It's not just my son. It just so happens that my son was charged and faced charges for the exact same charges that Hillary Clinton and her staff should be facing.
Kathleen, I'm so sorry. We have a hard break. Do you know what prison he's going to? We have about 10 seconds.
Believe it or not, they haven't even told us yet.
Okay.
So we're waiting for that.
Okay. I want you to come back on the show and tell us what is going on with your son's case. Kathleen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you.
Sure.
And please pray for us.
I will.
For American people, pray for us and our family as we
will.
move forward.
We will have more after the